Hey, so in this video, we're going to be covering the 5 things you need to know about Diablo's very first expansion. The first thing that they announce is the release date. It is October 8th. It is coming to us all. It is going to be alongside a new season, season 6 as well. We don't know what's included in that. If it's just the DLC, is enough to basically take that whole thing and make it awesome. Tons of new story stuff. That's going to be incredible. But the first thing I want to cover in what is coming to us is something that we get available to us now. Immediately, if you're playing Diablo 4, you are going to get access to pets. Whether you buy the DLC or not, they are unlocking pets for everyone. There is a quest that should pop up for most people in Kievoshad, and that will allow you to go pet the dog that you could have pet earlier, but this time you'll actually get it as a pet. Now, why are pets important? Not only are they really cool and they add a little bit of flair to the game that's kind of gotten a little drab because I've played it a lot. But having little things that allow you to kind of customize the look of it and the feel of it. But more importantly, the pets actually pick up a lot of the little things around on the ground. Gold, gems, the cinders. So they do help making sure that you're getting the most of those things. Even if you're getting to a powerful build and you're kind of just crushing and moving through things, you're still getting a lot of the resources that you're going to need. Gold is a rare resource right now. And it's been annoying to have to run back all the time to keep thinking about picking it up because it's so worthwhile. Do I run back into that room just in case there was some extra gold that I missed or not? The pet will grab a decent proportion of it during Hell Ties with the Cinders. Pretty awesome. Now, which pet you get and how many you get is very dependent on what version you get of the game. So I wanted to break down the versions so you can have a good picture of which one is actually right for you. They're not every one, and not the most expensive one is the best automatically. Most of the changes as you go up are really cosmetic. So if you already get access to a pet, some people will care what that pet looks like and other people don't. And so let's actually just jump into their actual sales page and start going from the base standard edition, and we'll keep moving up and showing what we get added to that, because everything we get in the lower ones, we get additionally as we move up. So in this first edition, we are going to obviously get access to the expansion. And we'll talk a lot more about this. This is the new class coming to us. Super cool. But here is the stuff that we get instantly. So if you're playing Diablo 4, you actually get access to the Snow Leopard pet. If you're playing Diablo Immortal, you also get the Mother's Lament legendary gem, which is kind of cool. I did play Immortal for a while. The gems are pretty powerful. I don't know if this one is, but that's pretty cool. I like how a lot of times Blizzard does these crossovers where they add things to other versions of the game that are still active and people are playing, which is pretty cool. But so in this first level, you're going to get this additional pet, and this pet is available right now. So that is for $39.99. A quick mention, if you haven't bought Diablo 4 at all, you can actually get this pack here, and this comes with the entire original game, plus the thing that we just saw with expansion. A little bit cheaper. I mean, you're getting, so if you bought it separately, the game is $50. The expansion's $40. So that'd be about $90. You're getting it for $70. So a pretty good deal. You save $20 going into it, and you get that first standard level edition of the expansion. Next, we're going to look at the deluxe edition. So the deluxe edition adds another thing, another thing that is available right away. And that is this War Cat mount and its armor bundle. So you get an actual leopard, which is freaking cool. It seems a little faster than horse. I might just be imagining that because it just looks stealthy, but it is pretty cool to have that already. This is available in game as soon as you buy the deluxe edition. Plus, you get an additional pet outside the one we get if we just buy any expansion. Next, we are getting a premium pass token. So you get to upgrade the battle pass for 1 season free. That's really what that does. And that allows you to get basically that bottom track that gives you all of the cosmetics that are unique. I think it's bottom track. It might be the top track. One of the tracks that you don't normally get access to is going to be available to you by using that token. So you can get a lot of the cool cosmetics. Doesn't change power of the game or anything like that. It just allows you to unlock some cooler looking stuff that's unique to the season. And they're also adding in a complete armor bundle, a set bundle for the new class, which is the Spiritborn. So this is not available until the game releases because obviously this class doesn't exist yet. So when it does, you'll also have access to that just by upgrading to deluxe. So that's another $20 to do so. And it's totally up to you. I mean, these are cosmetic changes. These are not power changes in any way. This is not required. But if you like the look of some of these things and you think it'd be cool, or you just want access to something cool now, this is a good option. Now, the Ultimate Edition has all of the things we've seen and a few additions. So yet another pet. They added another cat pet. They added these angelic wings, again, available now, pet and wings. They've also added the five armor sets for everything, all the other classes that are not Spiritborn. So every one of the classes gets a unique set. They're pretty cool. I've bought some of the sets that they have created, and for classes that I liked a lot or played a lot. And these are comparable to the ones that you pay for. They're well designed, and I like the theming that they did for the jungle theme that's coming for the new expansion. So this is cool, and these are all available now. You got your cat still. You get that battle token, and you get 3,000 platinum, which allows you to buy some other stuff in the cosmetic store if you wish, and this new portal. So again, all this stuff up here is available right away. The only thing is not is the expansion when it finally does come out, and the armor set for that class. So for the most part, as you move up these, there's simply the difference in how much you like the cosmetics or don't. How much stuff do you like to play with that? If you really don't care, it's not worth the jump, in the prices. You're going up another $50 to get to this highest version, $90 total. I did do this one, but I do record on this game for a living, so that was more to check everything out and see what it was actually all about. They look pretty cool. I mean, they are pretty nice, but cosmetics, you don't do a lot of multiplayer, so you're not generally, other than the bosses, really showing off your swag anyway, so not that big of an increase. But there may be some changes coming, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, that may make the cosmetic appearance something that you really want to put a little bit more time into. So as I have mentioned, one of the most important things in this is the release of a new class. Absolutely, my favorite times in Diablo is when a new class comes or is added, because it adds a lot of life back to the game. So people that were more interested in like maybe playing one class, or they've tried all five and they don't care anymore, adding a new class brings a lot of people back to the game. It brings more energy to the game, and I think it makes it more enjoyable for anybody who is playing. So this class is going to be the Spiritborn. They're supposed to manipulate the powers of the jungle to do different attacks. We don't know the exact of what it's going to look like, what its power sets are. We don't need any of that information. On July 18th, they are going to do either a fireside or one of their big meetings where everybody who's working on the game comes together and talks about the new class. And so that's what I'm expecting. We'll see more footage and how the gameplay is supposed to be a very smooth working class. They flow between things. The feel to me, as they described it, was very much like the monk in Diablo 3, but then had some of these powers of connecting to nature and manipulating nature. So that's pretty freaking cool. Now, I did mention earlier the pet. I just wanted to show you guys this. So this is the pet that you go up in the quest. If you go pet them, even if you don't buy any of the expansions, you get your first pet, and he'll follow you. Go to your then cosmetic cabinet and equip him, and then he'll pick up all the gold and stuff. So this is what he looks like. This is out like I think the center of Kiva Shad's off on this way over here behind us. When we walked around, where our whole cabinet and stuff is like right in this area. And so he's right behind that. He pets the dog. You then get it added to your pet. So that's kind of cool. They are adding mercenaries to the entire thing. So this is kind of cool because this is, some of these look like very standard. Here's our warrior. Here's our kind of tank. Here's our archer, mage of some sort. But it is cool that, they got some kind of emu looking like legs going on here. Some lizard tail, some devil horns. So more or less a fawn, but some creative liberties for sure. So this is definitely the person I'm rolling with. I don't know what's going on here entirely, but that's going to be interesting. Then we have our barbarian or marauder or whatever that is, some sort of crusader tank. But it'd been really nice. I always liked in Diablo 3 that, they added things you could do with the gear that you spent all that time on, is also looking at how to spec out your mercenary. I don't know if they're giving you that much control, or they're just adding a mercenary that helps you along more like in Diablo 2 where there's very little control. But this will be a cool add. You got the pet, you have a mercenary. It allows a lot of the solo players to do some more of the game they can't. So if there's places where it's just a lot easier to get some range, having a range class help you out, or vice versa. If you're range, having something take off some of the attention that's coming out you is really nice when we add the mercenaries to a game like this. Now, the last thing that I want to cover there is the last of the five, and I do have a bonus thing that I do want to cover because it's just something to think about before this all comes down. This really is the only graphic I have of this, but this doesn't show off anything. But this is, they're finally adding a PvE dungeon. So there'll be raid style things where we come together. I hope it looks like a little bit like Diablo Immortal, where they have the stands outside where you can wait for a party. It's like a requirement of 4 minimum or whatever. and you could actually queue. That would be cool, so people don't have to go constantly find groups on their own. Because some people just, as solo players, it's a lot nicer. I play a lot of times, probably 90% of the time I'm playing solo. I'm just generally working on things for different videos, so it's not always matching up with what somebody else wants to do. So with PvE dungeons, and especially if there is some sort of open queue, that makes it a little bit more interesting to have the cosmetics, and having upgraded cosmetics that you chose, different pets and things to show off, makes it a little bit more interesting. That's not for everybody. There's people that just do not care about aesthetics. Then do not worry about all the upgrades. Don't worry about anything. Have a pet, because picking up the gold is golden. That is pretty freaking awesome right now. But this will give you a place to kind of show off more of the stuff that you've purchased that you like more. Or it shows off a little bit more of your style or flair, or just something you thought was really cool in the game. So that's kind of nice. Now, the last thing that I do want to cover in full is the bonus thing. So this is going to be right around the time where Season 6 should be launching, is at the same time the DLC is going to be around. I'm sure those are paired. I don't see why they wouldn't be. But what that means is that there is actually another season between these two. So Season 5 is still yet to come. In Season 5, my only warning to people is, I do hope that they do something really great with Season 5. They've done such a good job, but it seems like they skip every other one. 1 and 3 kind of sucked, but 2 and 4 were pretty awesome. I just hope they don't do that. I know there's a lot to do to get the DLC ready, but have something interesting and nice. But either way, kind of keep it low key, I think, in Season 5. If you're one of those players that just get burnt out, like if you really got burnt out during Season 1 and didn't come back until Season 4, it may be a time just to pull back on that season a little bit more, maybe dabble in it. And whenever you're feeling that kind of burnout, just stop. I'd rather you basically take the break and then really enjoy the new class and everything that's coming with the new expansion, with DLC. The storylines have been amazing. And that's just a little bit of a warning for anybody who does feel that burnout. So that all being said, if you are still grinding away in Season 4 and enjoying the hell out of it, make sure you don't miss this video, my absolute favorite OP endgame tips to help you crush out an amazing endgame, crush that pit, get your build ready, and just utilize a lot of the crazy cool stuff that has come to us in Season 4.